Okay, you've read the book, you're confident on your quotations, now it's time to talk about the exam itself. All of the work we've done so far has been focused on preparing you for the exam, but this episode will be focused on helping you perform to the best of your ability in the exam.
Understanding how to approach exam questions is almost as important as having a strong understanding of the novel which the questions are on. By correctly identifying what information the examiner is looking for, you can target and structure your answers in the way that will earn you the most marks.
With that in mind, the first thing we need to cover is how to approach an exam question when you first see it. Simply put, you need to break it down into several different parts: subject, focus, and command words. For example, here's an exam question from a previous paper. Read the extract provided. Starting with this extract, write about how Shelley presents the importance of love and acceptance to society. Write about how Shelley presents the monster's need to be loved and accepted in this extract, and also how Shelley presents the importance of love and acceptance to society in the novel as a whole.
How would you deconstruct this into its respective parts? The subject is your topic of investigation. Your focus is the tool you'll be using to make that investigation, and the command words are any specific orders. So in this case,
the subject is love and acceptance, both in the provided extract and the novel as a whole. Most questions will ask you to speak both about an extract and the complete novel, so make sure you know the novel well before your exam.
The focus is on the monster himself, and after that, society as a whole. Pay attention to what order questions are put to you. Normally, whichever comes first should draw a larger amount of your attention than any secondary questions. But that doesn't mean that you can ignore the second ones altogether. Rather, consider them in relation to the first.
Finally, command words. This question tells you to begin with the extract, so all of your answers should be rooted in evidence from this extract. You can then expand out from there to the rest of the text.
Okay, so we've broken down the question, now we need to plan our answer. The best way to do this is to write up a plan for your entire essay. This plan should follow the PEE structure. 1. Argument and evidence, PE. 2. Explain use of language, structure, and quotes, E. 3. Wider cultural and historical contexts. Every paragraph should move through all three stages and encapsulate an entire point. It's okay for one point to roll into another, but make sure that each individual argument you make is contained within one paragraph. This makes it much easier to reward with marks.
Knowing key quotations from throughout the text will be helpful to you when referring to events outside of the extract. So if you've just skipped forward to the exam advice episode, we recommend listening to everything and then coming back, especially our key quotations episode. Also, be sure to spend time making sure you understand the key themes, cultural contexts, and narrative functions within the book as well.
When you're selecting key scenes and quotations, bundle them together with others that relate to the same topics. You might have a bundle of scenes that relate to the other in the novel, and another focused on moments of truth. I find that choosing 3 to 4 key quotes that interest me is a good way of structuring my revisions. I tend to suggest that you should have the following basic themes in your revision: narration, characters, plot, and then you can choose maybe 3 other themes that interest you from the novel, for example, science, morality, duality. This way you can cover a lot of ground in your exam, as you'll know the basic elements of the novel's content and the more interesting cultural themes.
If you have quotes or scenes which relate to more than one theme or idea, that's absolutely fine. In fact, it will strengthen your essay if you're able to show how the same quote or narrative structure serves multiple functions in the novel.
Consider drawing up a spider diagram as a revision exercise, where you write all your key quotes, scenes, and narratives down, and then draw lines between all the ones which relate to one another. You'll be surprised how many links you can make between them, and it will strengthen your essay.
Bundling quotes ahead of time will help you to quickly pull together an essay plan. For example, upon seeing the question we used earlier, I would immediately think about the bundles of quotes I made for isolation, the monster, and society or humanity. With this information, you can quickly pull together a plan for your introduction, mentioning your key points, 3 or 4 analytical paragraphs, and then a conclusion that relates back to the question.
Make sure not to bundle your quotes by chapter, as this can be limiting. Instead, do it by themes and narrative moments, as this is much more flexible. For Frankenstein, aim to have a few go-to quotes and examples on the following subjects: Gothic horror, science versus nature, the sublime, isolation, enlightenment versus romanticism, the monster, dark and light.
You'll find a lot of quotes to get you started with these topics in the Key Quotations episode, but be sure to pull out your own examples from the text as well. And spend some time really reading and rereading the book. At the end of the day, some of the best preparation you can do is simply reading the novel from cover to cover.
Follow these suggestions, study the book, and keep to a structure in the exam, and you're well on your way to a great exam performance.
And that's all she wrote. Congratulations on completing this series on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. We hope you found it useful, and best of luck with your exams.
Thanks for listening.